You know, I'm just saying. What's the fuck going on? Anyway, hello everyone. You have the bear here. We are back, and of course, we have the brother, the myth, the legend. You know what I'm saying? Prodigy, the prince, in the fucking building. Out here with the braids. You know what I'm saying? Like top tier shit, sir. Oops.
Out here, man.
I see you. I do. How you been, man? What's good with you?
Man, been blessed, man. Hey, Queen Peach. Just chilling, having a good old time. Enjoying life and, getting ready for, next weekend.
Yeah. Because for those who don't know, we have something spectacular coming. And that spectacular thing is that me and Prod are going to be doing BlurCon 2022. Is that what we're doing?
Oh, damn.
I think.
BlurCon. Let's talk about that. I'm not gonna tell everybody about that one.
Well, I mean, I want to know about this.
Oh, is that the ABC pool party?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, anything but clothes. Pool party. It's gonna be streamed live from my Plex Storm.
Oh shit!
OnlyFans too. If you put your money on that my OnlyFans, you definitely gonna see the
You're gonna see some meat. You're gonna see some meat and some other things happening, popping. So
we ain't talking about hot dogs on the grill.
No, it's gonna be some heat. You know what I'm saying? But no grill involved. That's what I'll say. No, man, I'm really excited about this panel coming up next week. I feel like it's been a while for all of us. Going back to cons and really just bouncing back from 2020 and COVID and all that stuff, and I feel like it's just time for us to get things back in order. So again, super fucking excited about all this. How about you, kind sir?
I mean, yeah, it's like, I won't say back to the monotony, but it's just kind of back to the normalcy. Like, cons was a thing that, like, I didn't know was, like, so relaxing until it was taken away from me. It's like, oh, man, you gotta can't go to cons now.
Yeah, it's definitely a fucking eye-opener. And I think we got a couple of eye-openers, but that's definitely one of the big ones for me as well. Because, like, we go out there and, we network with folks, we cosplay, we, get to see our friends that we haven't seen in forever. You know what I'm saying? There's just a lot associated with that. And for it to be ripped away the way it was, I mean, again, whoa. You know what I'm saying? To say the least. And everybody's life changed. So I'm just happy. I'm ready to get back. Ooh. I see you, baby mama.
I see y'all out here being all you.
Nah, see, Shay said, sorry, I'm late. Hello, SOT family. Hello, Shay. Hello, Red. Welcome. So I feel like we have a lot to talk about, catch up on, because I feel like there's a lot going on in the world, but especially our country right now. So, with that being said, before we get into the thick of it all, what's been going on with you, sir, since our last podcast?
So, I moved to Maryland. I think. No, I was already in Maryland. But I moved to a different house. Not renting a room. I'm in my own little townhouse. Unbelievable.
Ooh, okay.
My job, promoted me, and I had to get rid of so many people. So many managers had to get fired. You know what I'm saying? I had to swing the meats. But besides that, I mean, other than growing my hair and changing my bank account, I'm good. Just living life, saving lives, and kissing baby.
You know what? I will say, brother, I am very, very proud of you because, as we've talked about before, you're one of the few people that I can sit down and have full-fledged conversations with, and it's even when we don't see eye to eye, we still respect each other and really talk these things out. And so to see you out here doing the damn thing and the glow up and stuff, man, I'm very proud of you, kind sir. But
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's it's very important, regardless if you agree or disagree. Is a winning an argument more valuable than losing a friendship? I think a lot of people are very trying to win arguments, but they don't usually let other people see the other side. Like, I live in a world where shit, people might not like, apple juice. People like orange juice. Am I going to like excommunicate all those people out of my life because they don't like apple juice? But we might like other things.
right. Yeah, and
It's each one to each one.
yeah, and it's funny that you say that because it's one of those situations where if it's not like moral questioning, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like something like it's like a hard no, for some people they understand that terminology, but
Yeah.
if it's not a hard no, you know what I'm saying, in my life, then I feel like it can be discussed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't have to be abrasive, Mind you now, if people want to get abrasive, I mean, I'm on whatever you want. You're right. I'm on whatever you want. You know what I mean? But so far, it's like just really just breaking shit down and trying to get a better understanding from both sides. It's easily done. I mean, people are what make that shit hard, So I very much appreciate the fact that we can do that, brother, and really just get into some shit. So,
Anytime, my friend.
always.
What it's all about.
Yeah, I wish people saw it that way, but fuck it, whatever. I guess can't change everybody.
Fuck 'em.
Yeah, man, fuck them. Oh man, well that's good, man.
What about you?
So definitely doing the whole work thing. Finally got into the field that I want to be in. I'm finally in the IT field.
Congrats.
A sister actually gave me a chance and picked me up. I've always had the knowledge, but didn't have the degree behind it, or the certification behind it. And she came through. It was like, well, look, I need people on my team, and people are going to work. And she gave me an opportunity, and I've been there. I think when the last pod that we did, I had been there for like a couple months or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'll be coming up on a year, I think in October or something like that. So definitely great there. SOT is doing what we do. We're grinding, we're pushing. We just had the cookout that we talked about before. Big shouts out to everyone that came out to the SOT cookout, because it was truly awesome. So many awesome people that we met. Good food. Shouts out to my mom. All the other people that came through and just contributed and just they were present. The one thing I love about running a community, and I know you know this as well, Prod, is that we get to see it grow and mature and really come into itself. And I think for a long time we've always known what SOT is, but that was confirmation that we actually are reaching people and we're doing something. So it was a beautiful sight, to say the least. And then other than that, you know what I'm saying? My kids are here. Well, my son's here right now. My daughter will be here soon. They're fucking teenagers, driving me fucking crazy. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm mad at America, but
Mm-hmm.
we're probably definitely gonna get into that one for sure.
Oh, we're always mad at America.
Yeah,
Never make the right decisions.
Ever. Like, I tell people all the time, because I have a lot of family overseas and stuff like that, and friends overseas as well, and they're just like, yo, what the fuck is going on over there? I was like, bruh, it's the ghetto. I don't know what to tell you. Like, we're the ghetto of the world. And to be honest with you, I feel like we're a third world country at this point.
We're a third world country with like friends who like are good at cosmetics. That's it. Like we just like bad at the game, but we spent like thousands of dollars. Like, that's all we do. It's like, hey man, like, where'd you get this golden gear? Oh yeah, I bought it on release day. Oh
Yeah.
Do you know how to use it? No
idea. You know what I'm saying? All this DLC and nothing going on. But it's like if you went through and truly spent the money to buy every major NBA player. We're talking about Steph Curry. We're talking about, like Dwayne Wade. I still consider him one of the best. We're talking about LeBron James. Like, we get all these big names and literally sit them all on the bench. That's what the fuck our country does. It blows my fucking mind every time I think about it. and people say shit like, "Oh, we're the fucking best," bro. We ain't been the best ever. If you really truly think about it, like we might have had one decent year, and then everything else was trash. So,
the Industrial Revolution, we was hitting. We was lit back then. We was lit there. That's it.
All right.
The Renaissance, we was lit. Black people, shout out to black people. You know. That's it. That's it. We ain't been hot since the 80s.
Pretty much. It's I don't know, man. I will say, as a father, right? It truly bothers me that my kids are in this world and in this country where they are less than. Like, even right now with my daughter, right? And again, if this triggers anybody, this is the conversations that we have. I'm just, letting you know up front. Not trying to be political, not trying to do any of that, but we're just talking about, in my personal opinion, basic human rights. You know what I'm saying? So to me, there's nothing political about that at all, but I digress. There's no reason why I need to worry about my daughter, you know what I'm saying, having to grow up, because she's about to be 15. I shouldn't have to worry about her not being able to take her birth control anymore. Mm-hmm. I shouldn't have to worry about that. Like, that should be a conversation between me and her mother and her. And then we're going to talk about how she feels. I'm going to give my point of view, my perspective. Again, I'm a man, so I know nothing. I know what I know of the female body, but so far as what these women go through and stuff, I know nothing about this, right? And so then her mother comes into play, and she's going to put in her perspective and the things she's been through, her experience. And then as a collective, we're going to make the decision that's best for us as a family. And we don't even live in the same house. Why should anybody else be able to come in on this conversation and choose what happens to my daughter? No, I'm not okay with that. Not at all. That's bogus to me in every way, shape, and form. And on top of that, my daughter is a mixed child. So is my son. Why, especially with this overturning and shit, there's so much associated with that it can affect the fact that they are mixed. It can affect my rights as their father being a black man. There's so much associated with this that's fucking ridiculous. And again, we're not talking about what you believe in. Honestly, the way I feel, fuck what you believe in. I know what I believe in, you know what I'm saying? And if you agree, cool. If you don't, whatever. But at the end of the day, we are still just talking about basic human rights. That's my child, and I don't sit there and put regulations on her. So how dare someone else do so? No, I'm not okay. Not our daughters, not our sisters, not our cousins, not our mothers. No, it's not okay. This is where I'm at with it. How about you, brother?
Personally, the thing that kind of bothers me is that I guess the men, in a sense, like, I've always found it very peculiar and very interesting that a very small group of people are the ones who's kind of control the populace. Always been in the white man's nature to always try to control, women's bodies. And a lot of people will sit there and like, oh, Roe vs. Wade overturning is not really affecting people, but like, it does. And Planned Parenthood does help more than just that. It's not just, like, we abort babies, but it's care for, women of color or women who don't have the right amount of money or don't have health care, don't have these type of things. So what I find to be really just crazy is that all these changes are made without the input of a woman. So it's like, and also on the flip inside of it is that I find it weird is that, like, people think it's just a woman's issue. And it's like, there are fathers, there are brothers, there are sisters, there are husbands. Like, if you have a woman in your life, like, this is your issue. If you came from a woman, 100% of us, I don't know, there might be some immaculate conceptions out there, you know. I still think that, like, issues that affect any human is a human's rights issue, a basic necessity issue. Like if people are fighting for these type of things, yeah, there's a whole lot of gamut on the things to it. Like just because you outrule like abortions doesn't mean you outrule abortion getting them. You just now open the door for unsafety. Like it was safely done before. You could go to a doctor and get these things done. People just think it's just an abortion issue. Like there's so many things attached to Roe versus Wade that people aren't recognizing, and there's people just like, oh well, you know, it's we want to protect the human lineage. The next person could be Bill Gates, you know, Bill Gates, but like a Bill Gates brought up in a home that's not ready, or Bill Gates that's brought up in a home that's not, or brought up and neglected. That's just another person not getting the right opportunities, and all children aren't playing. You know, I wasn't playing. That's what my parents tell me all the time.
Right.
I was a surprise baby, but it came out of consensual love or consensual situations. A lot of times people are forced to have babies. Like, why is the world forcing women to have children? Like, it's a lot of things to it, and what kind of I don't want to say triggers me, but it's like I just feel like a lot of people aren't talking about how big this is. Like, this is a really big issue, just because if you're able to remove something that's been long standing for so long, like the Roe versus Wade has been intact for a minute.
Right.
Like, what's next? Like, what's next for the few people that sit in a room together to make a decision? Like, all right, guys, we're gonna start taxing you to breathe. Like, anytime you take a piss, that's a $10 charge. Like,
yeah,
what's next? And I know they're outlandish like exaggerations, but
this is outlandish.
What, like a 1,000 years ago, where were we? You know what I'm saying? 100 years ago, where were we? Like, I was still a slave 1,000 years ago. Shit, technically, 100 years ago, depending on what parts of the world, you know, things do change. But like once you take a step back, you stop all progress.
Yeah.
Thought we were kind of doing better in the world, but then here we are. So that's my piece on that. It's crazy, but women go through enough. To me personally, like their own government trying to, you know, get rid of them is ridiculous.
Right. And like so many people are saying in the chat right now, one, it's been, like I said, 50 years, and it's so much more than just like what about people, these women or trans men, whatever, having a uterus in general, right? If you can't control what is happening to your body, right? Where are we at as human beings where that's okay, where this person can't make a decision that's right for them, because if they do so, it's illegal? Why? That it makes no sense. What about the people that really can't even have it because, you know, that, like, what is called entropic births and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, where, you know, it could kill them, or again, there's so many different versions of birth, or just the health reasons as to why this isn't supposed to happen. So why is that person forced to basically die? You know what I mean? Like, it's basically, it's like sending somebody to the firing squad. You know, like, hey, well, you know, I'm sorry, but you just gonna have to bite that one. You know what I'm saying? I see you in the afterlife. Why as a man? Because again, I can't speak for the ladies out there or trans men with uterus and stuff like that, whatever the case may be. I can't speak for them because I don't go through these things. But what I can say, as a man who wants to be married, a man that has children, has a daughter, you know what I'm saying, has a son, why should me or my son or anyone have to see the person that they love die for a decision that they didn't make? Why? That's crazy to me. Like, I'm not gonna watch my daughter die. I'm not gonna watch anybody in my life that can bear children. I'm not gonna watch them die for someone else's law. I'm not doing it. I've said this before. I'll say this again. We're not talking about anything else but basic human rights. How the fuck did y'all even sit here and fathom this and try to get this done? Like, again, don't get me wrong. There's a bunch of theories as to like what they're doing and why they're doing it and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, what y'all doing, I don't give a fuck how you try to like push it to me, is wrong. It's wrong. And on top of that, the one thing that I bet we both agree on is why the fuck is nobody talking to us? Like, I could go out, and I guess I should clarify. I can go out tonight, right? Pull my meat out. You know what I'm saying? Block off about like 5 hours, right? Give each woman an hour, right? So that's 5 women. I could get them all pregnant tonight. And yet nobody is asking me shit or regulating shit on me. Now, mind you, a woman, she can have one of these 5 women, they can only get pregnant that one time. Okay, you could possibly have 2 or 3 babies, but to be honest with you, what's the likelihood of that? Very rare. You know what I'm saying? That you have multiple children inside of a womb. So with all that being said, we're talking about I get 5 women pregnant, and yet these women can only get pregnant once. One each hour. How? Mm-hmm. But we're regulating them? That literally makes no sense. It makes no fucking sense at all. I'll tell you, I've told my son, because I've had this conversation with my kids already. My daughter is all over on. I'm gonna tell you something. This child is definitely a replicant of me, because she is out there. She's like, there's no reason why I'm fucking 14 years old and I gotta sit here and make a stand about the decisions that me and my parents make. Why? That's how she feels. And now I talk to my sons, the same thing. I'm like, son, like, I want you to know, like, you are more potentially an issue than your sister is. And I'm not trying to make him feel bad. And it's not like he understands all this stuff, but point blank period, that's the truth. You are more of an issue than your sister could be. So you need to be mindful of what's happening out here in this world so you know where you stand. That's it. Because if you care about your sisters, because he has an older sister too, if you care about your sisters, if you care about your grandma, if you care about your mom, you know what I'm saying? If you care about anybody in your fucking life, son, you have to be better. You have to be better than this. You have to stand where it needs it the most. You need to stand with the women in your life. So these men making these decisions about this shit, right? It's sickening. Is what it is. You can pay me to go through and make a decision like that. That's wild as fuck. Get out of here. But whatever. I hate it. I absolutely hate it. What is it? What's going on here? I just got here. Basically what we talked about before, son. But we'll talk more later. Yeah. I don't know. What I'll also say about this, and you know, I definitely want to know how you feel, but I feel like us as content creators, streamers, YouTubers, you know what I'm saying, musicians, whatever the case may be, we have a duty to use our platform to speak out about these things. Because I don't know if you heard, but EA put out a statement today. Vortis and shit was telling me about this, but they put out a statement today saying that we will not officially comment on any of this. To me, that's basically saying that you agree, and because silence to me is worse in a lot of different aspects, for real. So the fact that they're choosing this standpoint not to say anything on it at all, when you have companies like Amazon and like, I mean, I can't even name them all, there's so many, that's made it a point. We stand with the women in our life. We stand with anybody that has a uterus that this affects. We stand with them. And for a company like EA, a major company, I mean, look how many games we played throughout the years from this company, for you to be silent, no, I'm not okay. I'm not okay with that at all. Can't support it, won't support it, fuck that. It makes me angry, bro. But again, back to my point, so far as having a platform and, like, you know, speaking out about these things, how do you feel about that?
I mean, I think it's necessary to utilize your voice. because that's the most powerful thing any person has. Like, I think no matter what, like if you have a community and you have people around you and whatever it may be, like letting people know your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings, your emotions. Like, there's a lot of times I don't like you learn things based on just people pretty much telling you what's going on. It's like, all right, hey, you know, this is this and this going on. Because sometimes I learn about world news sometimes with Twitter. Like people reshare certain things like that. But I think as a duty, if you are, if something's happening in the world, and you need to kind of say something. I don't necessarily like feel like you have to respond to every single action that happens in the world, but I do think that if you have a community and you have you obviously, you know, as a community member or community leader, you do have people that watch you. Like, you do have people that look up to you. You have people that, you know, pay attention to you. So sometimes they're looking for you to say something, not because it's like, you know, you have to, but it's just because sometimes they look to you for like help, guidance, anything of that nature. And it's just like when things are affecting all of the people around you that matter, or, you know, anything, that you have to say something. It's like when we look for the president, when something happens in the world, like every time a shooting or something happens, it's always the president has to give their point. Even if we already know it's a bad thing, it's like, yeah, he said it's bad. You know, we condemn these things. Because if you don't say anything, you approve it. And that's pretty much, as you said, like silence means, you know, you're pretty much not against it, but you're not like, you're not mad about it. You're not worried about it.
Yeah. And it's funny that you say that, because so many of these people who say silent or don't say anything are like, oh, it doesn't affect me. Right. I've seen, again, we're going to jump into like our own community for a second. I've seen so many brothers legit go, well, it doesn't affect me. How fucking dare you? You know what I mean? Like, really? You don't think with all the shit that we've been through as black people, there's not even black people, there's people of melanin in general. You know what I'm saying? With all the shit that we've been through, when George Floyd happened, oh, up in arms, yelling, screaming, top of your lungs. How is it that you can have that energy for that, but you can't have that same energy for this? We're talking about, if you want to keep it, because, you know, a lot of our community is like, you know, if it ain't about black people, I really ain't, you know what I'm saying, I'm not worried or whatever, right? So if that's the case, weren't you worried about your black mothers, sisters, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Cousins? Like, does this not matter anymore? Or, again, take it a step further, because this happens a lot too. So you're not worried about the trans community at all? How are you worried? How can you pick and choose this shit? You know what I'm saying? I don't give a damn if you agree or not. But again, you're not agreeing with like somebody's lifestyle. We're agreeing with basic human rights. Just like when it comes to slavery and shit like that. Like, how can you be like, oh, this is terrible, I can't believe this fucking happened, you know, I never want this shit to happen again, but then you see something like this and you turn a blind eye? How? They're literally the same fucking thing at the end of the day. The basis of it, exactly the same.
I mean, I think the thing is, and the issue is that some people just don't care. And it shows every single day. Like, if you, like, for people when George Floyd happened, everybody got up in arms, and that some of that stuff ended up going downhill, and people ended up, I get, you know, supporter or what is it? Protest fatigue is a real thing. Going out every single day. But some people still don't change their value. Like, I'm still gonna post my shit. I may not be out there every single day, but I'm still gonna post my shit. I'm still gonna talk about shit when topics like this come up. But a lot of people, they do the sheep. It's the sheep mentality. Like, if one person says something, it's like, all right, yeah, I agree. That's just crazy. This is this and that, and then it's like, all right, they ain't talk about it, so I ain't gonna talk about it. It doesn't matter. Like, if it's a real something that you stand for, if it's something that is very non-negotiable for your true core values, your true rights, your true understanding, it doesn't matter if anybody say anything about it. You will. Like, I don't have any kids. I don't have, but I do have a mother. Like, I do have, you know, pseudo siblings. I do have people that I look through the world with, and I'm concerned about them now. It's like this puts their whole livelihood in jeopardy. Like all you have to do is literally just sit there and look at the research, because not only are black women the same way how black police are to black men is how the healthcare system is for black women. So not only have we already taken a step back in that vein, like we've like it's just like multiplied. Like women can't go to the doctor and get the basic needs sometimes, because sometimes, like, I've had a friend who went to, give birth. She didn't leave. She never left. The baby left. Everybody else left, but they didn't listen to her. She died in the hospital complaining about a migraine, and it was like, oh, it'll go away. It'll go away. It's certain things like that, and if you don't say stuff, yes, that one case may have been solved, and family got paid out, but it's like there's so many people that still struggle with the same thing. So while injustices do exist, we still need to talk about it. And sometimes people get tired of having the same conversations about injustices, about how black people are in the world. Well, guess what? If it's uncomfortable, it's because it's true. You got to keep talking about these things. And until the conversation is met with action, we're going to keep posting about it. We're going to keep talking about it. Yeah, we might get distracted. Like, yeah, we like our favorite football team that just won the Super Bowl. I'm happy about that.
Right.
But then let's get back into this shit. At Joe Biden on Twitter. Like, yo, what's good, bro? Like, what's good, bro? We playing with the uteruses now? Like,
right.
It's just how it is. It's like sometimes it's not always about it's how you carry yourself every single day. And that's why when you talked about how people posting on in the communities, it's like once you've made it clear where you stand, that affects your community. If you like, I don't tolerate people talking shit about black women. Somebody does, you set the standard, you set the tone for how people operate around you and with you. You check those people. Mm-hmm. Same way how people be like, oh yeah, you gotta check your friends. Like I have a lot of friends that bad mouth women. Don't do that around me. Like I don't care if she's the mother of your kids, she's your mom's, and she's just bad. Like, listen, you can keep that to yourself. I don't like talking about people if they're not around. And even if they are around, it's none of my business. But the same way how your morals will rub off on people, and they may not, you leave it alone.
Yeah.
And then people won't be that way around you. And then you might change somebody. All this is about changing somebody's thought process. If you change enough people's thought process, these type of things won't happen. But there's people who are so caught in the old way of trying to control the populace. It's just what they think is good. Like they're gonna make these decisions just because they feel the old way is dying. Let's get back to the ways where things used to be. And you see it every single day when a new legislation passes. There's so many kids that die in mass shooting, and nothing has changed about gun laws. Like, if anything, guns have more rights than women, and that's the ridiculous part about the world. I can
crazy. Like,
it's ridiculous that having a gun, and you're protected by all these laws. I've seen it in certain states where someone carries a gun and shoots somebody and who broke into somebody's house and they shot them, and it's like, oh man, well you're an intruder, but you acted within your rights. I'm like, what? If somebody breaks into my house and I shoot them, I go to jail, but because of the gun laws and how things are carried, and then you go to the other side, it's like people can do whatever they want to black women. Like black men, and I'm not saying that about you, obviously, but a lot of black men degrade their women, degrade our, the women that we share history with, and then in fact, when someone else does it, it's like, oh, this is disgusting. You do it every day. This is why people do it to us, because we do it to us.
Right.
So we have to be better. Like we have to, in order to change legislation, we got to change how we operate. We got to change how we think. We got to change how we move. We need to move united, because this whole separation between men and women and shades of skin and all that type of shit, like I don't really care about that. Like that's not helping us be a better people. Us as black people have to try better, have to do better together.
Yeah.
And things like this is just deflating to the overall, because when you have those people you care about in your life, and you have people that you might want to care about in your life, and you already realize that they already got a foot in the hole, like I might not meet the one of my dreams because she had a baby before she met me. Like the fuck?
All right. This is
Like
a ridiculous notion. Like,
yeah, it's crazy to think that the government can take away somebody from your life and have served no time.
yeah. And I mean, honestly, but that just goes back to the hypocrisy of this country since its inception. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's always do as I say, but not as I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those situations where you look at how they operate, and mind you, now we're talking about a bunch of old rich men. You know what I'm saying? Making these laws and doing all this stuff. They do what they do and move the way they move because they know that if we were to do the same things that they did, like if we decided to move the way they moved, bro, they wouldn't have a chance.
No.
But they divide us in so many different boxes and sections and stuff like that. They implement little things here and there to keep us in our boxes. And so as long as we're separated, as you said, it's not an issue. Yeah, this little group over here can do what they need to do, and they could try to move like us, but let's be honest, they ain't really got it. You know, they always keep shit in place so that we can't get anything accomplished. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, like you said, we do it to our fucking selves. There's no reason why my brothers and sisters out here should have any difference of opinion. Now, mind you, that might sound like, oh, so you're saying they can't think for themselves? I'm simply saying that there's no way you can be one of us and not see how crazy this is. The fact that a black man, this truly pisses me off. The fact that a black man was even involved with the overturning of this, because I don't remember his name, but somebody can correct me or give me what his name, but you know who I'm talking about, right? This one guy in particular. Bruh, how the fuck could you even remotely be involved with this? How? I don't get it. Mind you now, the answer to that question is you're in this cycle, you're trying to get paid, and you don't give a fuck about nobody else. That's obvious. But again, at your core of being a black man, how the fuck are you okay with this? It literally makes no sense. Do you really think they're not going to come for you next? Come on, bruh. Like, and you're inside of the conversation, so you know the crazy shit they're saying. You really think you're good? You think it's gonna be all hunky dory and blah blah blah? No, no. You next, because that's the reason why this shit is happening. Systematically taking out all opposition, putting things in place so they know exactly where we are and what they need to fucking do to shut us the fuck down. It's crazy. Overall, it just is. So I'm able to speak honestly. You can. This is an open platform. I mean,
open forum.
Yeah, I mean, we have to talk about this.
As long as you ain't throwing some of those bannable words around and speaking, good.
Right.
Oh.
And now that's saying, oh my bad.
We wait.
as we wait. No, man. Yeah, go ahead.
Nah, it's just hard to fathom that like someone could be in the world, see how the world operates, still decide, yeah, fuck it. let's just do it this way. I'm like, huh? You don't care at all.
Really?
Like, that's pretty much what it is. I just don't think that some people do care about the people that they're sworn to protect. It's the same thing how I feel about like police brutality. I don't think all of them are bad. It's too far and in between. But the bad apples will, like, what is it? One bad apple will spoil the whole lot. You know, one bad seed can ruin your harvest. So when you have people, you know, when you have the minority that is vocal, you have the vocal minority, and then you have the silent majority, and that's the issue with a lot of the problems we have. Like, Do I think all police are bad? No. But the ones that are bad are bad. Like they're like, it's not like it's like, oh man, he pushed me. No, he killed me. Like it's too far in between.
Right.
And then the other ones that are good, like it's no such thing as I think a good cop. You're doing your job. Like, you know, so it's like we don't reward people for being good people because that's what you're supposed to be. Right. You're supposed to be a good person. You're supposed to abide by the laws that's in place, quote unquote, because you know some laws, and as we see, are subjective. But being good and doing your job accurately is something that you don't get applauded for because that's what you signed up for. So we have these conversations because when people do their job inaccurately, we're going to call them out because you're supposed to do things right. You're sworn in under an oath to protect the people, you know, protect the people who can't be in those boardrooms having those discussions, who have jobs, who have families, who have things that they had to take care of. But we've elected you, appointed you to do the same for us. And that's how, you know, our government and our thing is sometimes so fucked up that we bring senators, we appoint legislation, who have our ideas, and they say we're gonna do this, we're gonna legalize this, we're gonna remove this, we're gonna do that, and then they get in office and they just do the same thing that their great grandpa was doing, sitting on the seat, getting paid to push forward whatever was already existing, and it sucks because the people that feel it are the people at the bottom. Like if I have $1 million, regardless if I'm a woman, a black woman, a man, if I have millions of dollars, common issues do not affect me. No. Most of these issues are things that change in legislation affect the majority that are impoverished, the people who don't have some people who don't have insurance, the people who have to, if I got to go to the doctor, it's going to cost me thousands of dollars. That's why we always go to the emergency room instead of a doctor's visit. You know, we just like, if it hurts, I'm gonna just wait a couple days. I'm gonna drink, you know, I'm gonna have some ginger ale, some soup and some Pepto-Bismol. I'll be good. Some Tussin. Get some Tussin, you be good. So that's the lifestyle we get. So when anything changes, it changes drastically for us. Other people, especially people who work in the government and law, they make money. So they're like, oh, I gotta pay this much? Nothing.
Right.
That might be 3 of my checks to do something.
Yep.
And now it costs 10 of my checks. So now I don't go on vacation. Now I have to work 2 jobs. Now I have to work 3 jobs. Now I don't see my family. Like certain things break down the dichotomy of the average human family.
Yeah.
So once you create that separation, now like, you know, the father's not home because he's working. If the father's not home and the mom is now she has to work a job. Now who's raising the kids? The kids are outside. Now they're outside in the elements with other people who are trying to get things. So it's like one thing leads another thing, and it's so hard. It's so hard and so confusing because it's just like we keep running into what's the root of the root of all evil. What's the problem? Everything is a problem. Like it's like everything adds on to the same structure. Like it's just taking blows at it. Like this, just like when you play like Fortnite and video games, the wall is like 1,000 of damage, but everything keeps hitting at that wall.
Yeah.
So you just got to, like, the best way is sometimes to put the right people in place, but how do you know they're the right people until they're in place?
Yeah.
Elections happen every couple of years, so once they're in the position, like, what the fuck are you gonna do? And if it's already shitty, it's gonna take them some years to fix the shit.
Yeah, because like the system is set up not to change. Realistically.
Oh no.
Like, because honestly, if it was truly set up to change, the people that are in the House right now, that has been in the House for years, or Senate and all that stuff, bruh, these people we're talking about like have been in there for 40, 50, 60 years. And they haven't done a damn thing to change it because why would they? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
some people have been career legislation. Been in there. And crazy part is some of them have been in there for so long, their kids will go do that. It's like something that's just passed on like a baton in a relay race. So how are we going to get in and affect change if we can't even get to the table?
right.
Like that's all people are fighting for, to get a seat at the table.
Yep.
And we can't get that.
No, because it's continuously controlled by the people that are doing what they're doing right the fuck now. You know, we could, honestly, I feel like if we truly banded together, if we truly understood one another, we could get so much accomplished. But as so many people have said in the chat, this government won't allow that. Like you said, they will do everything. It's like they have this. It's like playing a fort defender or whatever. You know what I mean? Like they sit at the top and they literally have every contingency set up for us not to get remotely fucking close to do anything about it. Nothing. And until we change that, I just don't see us getting anywhere. You know, like. Because again, we can't get together in order to make a run at this shit. You know what I'm saying? And then they have it set up where even if we did, there's 1,000 obstacles in the way that are fucking everything up. It's. I think so many people are frustrated, like me, you, and people in the chat right now. Anybody watching this, we're so fucking frustrated because we know what we deserve as people. We deserve to be healthy, to eat. To walk the streets and live our life, to be fucking free. We deserve all these fucking things. And yet we live in a place where really we're still slaves. Mm-hmm. We're still caught in the same fucking cycle that we were caught in before. And if we wanted to do something about it, we're the ones seen as fucking crazy. We're the ones seen as the fucking problem. How is me or my daughter or anybody out here, how is us wanting to live our lives without hurting anybody a fucking problem? How is making a decision for myself a fucking problem? It's like if you start talking about with drug dealers and et cetera, they're the scum of the fucking earth. Don't you know that half of these people out here who are dealing drugs or whatever, I mean, again, we're talking about anything from weed to hell on up, right? Again, I'm not saying this shit is great, but my point is, did you know half these people were in a fucking environment where they just wanted to put food on the table, whether it's for themselves or their family?
Most people don't like, unless there's a few people that do. But most people I know, and this is just people that I've known over years, the reason why they sell it is because it's fast money.
Exactly.
It's quick. You'll get it. It's a high risk, high reward. And most people do it because they have a reason. If they get caught, they don't, it's for, it's them. But if they make the money, they can give it to their family. There's some people who want to be like drug kingpins, but that's more glamorized by television. Yeah. Like most people get in the game to make money and give it to their family. Get them in a better situation. Get them out of the hood. That's literally most people try to do. They try to get out of the current situation they're in, and that's one of the quickest ways. Just like sell some drugs. Quickest ways to do it, but it's just like, if that's the only way, like that's crazy. That's one of the few ways. Be an athlete, sell drugs. Because in the society that we live in, there's not too many like programs like like science programs in the inner cities anymore. Like, there's not a lot of those things that fine arts that kids will be like, oh man, I could do ballet, I could do this. Like it's not really stressed as it could be. So we're damned to a little bit of options that we do have. It's like, oh well, shit, I guess I'll just do these things.
Yep.
You have very little options, and I think maybe when you were younger, but also when I was younger, I was average not to make it out of the situation where I lived by the age of 15. Like I was like, man, not too many people live past the age 15 in black people in urban areas, and that's not the statistic we give ourselves. That's not the statistic we put on ourselves. Because like I know so many kids that passed that threshold and that have gone on to live very, not even lucrative lives. They've healthy lives. So when you sit there and it's like, as they said in your chat, it's about control. It's about what you can put. If you can put all these people in this place to play a role for you, you're a head coach. That's what you are. No one's gonna sit there and be like, oh, you're this is wrong, but if people are listening to you and people are going to abide by it, what can we do? Like literally, what can we do?
Right. Yeah. It's systematic oppression at the end of the day. It's literally it's a cycle that has been. As a matter of fact, this is the best way to say it. People talk about like our country as if like it's like, oh my God, that you know what I'm saying, this is so terrible, which it is, right? So terrible and just horrific, and oh, I can't believe we're at this place. What y'all don't understand is that this country is running the exact way it was built. Right now, with everything that's happening, this country is working efficiently because it's how it was built to work. Now, mind you, I'm going to bring up something, and again, I need to do more research on it, so just take this loosely, okay? But if I'm not mistaken, the what was it? Is it the Constitution? Something is supposed to be rewritten or reviewed every couple of years, right? I don't know if it's the Declaration of Independence.
I think it's every 5 or 15 years it has to be reassessed.
Right, it's supposed to, right? Hasn't been done once.
It's only been amended. That's it.
Right. So you're telling me that this was put in there, right? And yet nobody's done it? Why? Obviously the answer is like, why the fuck would I do that? Like, that's gonna fuck up all my money. It's gonna fuck up my status. It's gonna fuck up everything that I've known to come to love. You know what I'm saying? I love having Cletus over there, you know what I'm saying, working my fields. I love having Bertha over there pouring my tea every day. I love the fact that I can do what I want when I want. And then from here, my children and their children's children are going to have the same luxuries as I. So why the fuck would I change it? Again, y'all are asking the wrong fucking questions. You know what I'm saying? Y'all are making it out like, again, it goes back to that whole thing. It's like, oh, we were so great at one point. What the fuck was great? It might have been great for y'all. It damn sure wasn't great for me or any of my ancestors.
Because that's the thing. Like you said, America was built on, I think, the original reason why a lot of people left, and this is why it's always quite funny. Like, a lot of people ran away from Europe because they didn't like the rule. They didn't like how strict it was. They came over here for religious freedom, economic freedom, growth, and opportunity. That's what all people left Europe and Europe's rule for. Just to come over here and do the same exact thing. The same fucking the laws thing. The laws are in place, and that's why like a lot of people who are black are very confused. Like, and people are like, they change the verbiage every time. They're like, it's this and that. But most of these rules are just still set in place to keep certain people at the top and certain people at the bottom. Regardless who they are and how they change, that's how the government is made to run. There has to be somebody at the top. There has to be few people that that make it through the crust, and then there's people at the bottom. Now, who are at the bottom? People of color. Does that mean that all are? Some people make it out. They have opportunities, and some people are really talented, and people are really great, and that's not to take anything from them, but that's how the government was made. Mm-hmm. It was made for us. Well, it was made for them. They wrote that the colonists, all white. They wrote that for their best interests, things that they thought were good for them, that would keep them making money, keep their families alive, keep them from never having to being taken over by British control. That's what all that's all about. They never thought about niggas. Niggas was the least of the word.
Yeah.
Niggas was workers. That's what niggas was synonymous with workers. That's what we were. We were field hands. We were tools to be utilized. That's what we were. So when they wrote this Constitution, and even as years went on, no one sat there and said, "Yeah, this was made by some racist ass white people. We should kind of like get rid of it and do it again." You know why? Because most of the people are white, and they're like, I don't know, man. Like it seems kind of good. Like I get tax breaks. I don't have to do this. I can do what I want. Mm-hmm. I could speed. I can have my son shoot up schools, and they could, walked out and get Burger King. Like they can do whatever they want. So that's just how the structure is, and it's been gone for so long that the people who are thriving because of it don't realize that they're thriving because of the law. They're like, oh no, I'm not racist. That's just the law that we all follow. Well, we all follow it. It just affects us differently. Everybody is affected differently by the laws, and it's hard for people to see it and notice it because when you're winning, you're winning. like if like I'm playing a game and like I'm like we all play video games and like you hit all your snipe shots, headshot. You're like, oh man, this game is easy. For all the people who getting sniped, they didn't think it's easy at all. They're like, how he shot me?
Right.
But he didn't even see me.
Right.
He's glitching to the walls. Like that's exactly what the situations are.
Yeah.
Like it's hard for them to realize that they're playing it this way and it's all hacking because they didn't hack it, but their parents hacked the system and gave it to them and said, hey, here play the PS5. We all playing PS3s. They got a PS5 that got auto aim and tracking, but no one told them it was auto aim and tracking.
Right.
That's what it all is. They're just playing like this is all I know.
Right. And again, like you said, under the fucking illusion, it was like, well, isn't it supposed to be this way? This is what it's supposed to be this way, right? We're like, no, bro. I'm literally still playing on the fucking PS2. Like, what the, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not this illusion that these people live, that this is how it should be and da-da-da, et cetera, et cetera. Come on, bro. What the fuck are you really talking about at the moment? Like, you're literally saying that us as people, we don't have the right to go through and make a decision that's best for us. This is what they're saying at the end of the day. Point blank period. Hey, I say it's like this. This is how it's going to be because this benefits me. This has always benefited me and my grandparents and their grandparents and et cetera, et cetera. So no, it's not going to fucking change. So just fuck everybody else, right? Fuck me and fuck everybody that's at my level. Hell, even at this point, even slightly above where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody, that part down, fuck them. It's the only word that comes to mind when we talk about this shit is this fucking grotesque. Everything about it, top to bottom, is fucking ridiculous. And there's no other way to say it. It really isn't. At this point, when that shit got overturned, literally there's no other way to say it. There's no reason why anybody in this chat, anybody watching, anybody that sees this later, has to worry about, you know what? I literally might not be able to get my fucking birth control. So I have to change my entire fucking life for somebody else's fucking decision. I might die because of all this. It's fucking crazy. It just is. It's sad. But you know what? Here's the other thing too. And again, I'm not talking shit about allies and stuff like that because I actually appreciate a lot of people waking up per se. And trying to do better. But I guess my issue with all this is like y'all talking about shit that literally I was taught when I was 2, 3. You know what I mean? Like me and you right now, brother, we've been living this life. And then for someone else to roll up and be like, oh, this is a fucking injustice. Hey, you're not wrong.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like that's my that's kind of the bigger issue for me. It's just like being a person of color. Like I was taught certain things, how to operate and how to do to navigate the life. It's kind of how which is weird. Like how like girls get a certain talk. All right, guys got to do this. You got to be able to watch out because guys are creeps. Be careful for guys. And like people have those talks because those things exist.
Right.
And if it doesn't apply, you never get taught it. So like there's people who go through life and then go to college and be like, oh shit. Black people, y'all was going through it. Like, why didn't y'all riot? And I was sitting here like, I don't know. I don't know why we didn't riot. But you know what? We didn't. But we're here. You know what I'm saying? So like this all of those, like we could sit here and like, like I love that people's eyes are opening. It's just like, but for me, it's just like so. I don't know if it's like annoying, but it's just like I don't care. Like It isn't like you saying, hey, those people they were treating y'all bad over there. Like that doesn't do shit for me. Like that doesn't change that I still have to wake up, and still struggle to navigate my life. You know, it doesn't change that. You know, regardless of my interaction with every interaction with a police officer is very hostile for me. Like, it doesn't like, and that's crazy part is when something bad happens, that's the first person I'm thinking that I'm supposed to call.
Right.
Like, who know? Like, there's so many times that I've seen those calls go wrong. Like, you call the police to help you out, and they kill you.
Right.
Like, so you have those talks, and it's crazy because there are black kids, there are children of color, children from the African diaspora who are spread out this world, and there are kids who are getting that talk every single day. And it's sad, it's disingenuous because their counterparts from a different skin tone, different worlds, different socioeconomic status don't have those conversations. They are kids being kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't run around the mall as a kid because my mom told me, watch out, because you need to be near me because something could happen to you. Mm-hmm. Someone can take you. The what is it? The black market of selling organs for black people are very expensive. You will get picking up and taken because you're black, and our organs are worth thousands upon thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But then you got little Johnny, who's just screaming his lungs out in the meat aisle, and I'm sitting here like, bro, like I'm trying to get my Beyond Burger, like you just and it's like nothing happens. But in my mind, and I'm sitting there like, man, when I was a kid, like this is what I was taught. Because that's just, it's like you said, like things affect people differently, but it's just weird because when people grow up, they're like, ah, man, this is how I'm gonna do things. Like, I've been doing this forever. I've been know about black rights and the movements and who Martin Luther King. Like people are like, oh yeah, Martin Luther King's a cool guy. I'm like, do you know everybody else though? Like, you know the simple shit. We've been bred in this shit. We know this. We go through this. The stuff that you saw on the march about George Floyd, that was the tip of the iceberg for us because we've been going through all of these things.
Right.
You just saw us marching and thinking it was one person's life. We've been marching for the past thousands of lives.
Yeah.
So I do love that people are they're waking up and they're opening their eyes. But it doesn't change because they can close their eyes and go back to their lives. Like, I still have to wake up and walk this path every day.
Exactly.
Like, women have to wake up and walk this path every day. People who are in trans and still have to, still regardless of how they describe themselves, they still may have to go to a certain doctor because of how their organs are set up. Still have to walk this path. And for people who are not affected, they're saying like, oh, it's not that big deal. Well, yeah, because you can just do whatever the fuck you want. You could not go to a doctor. There are some like medical, issues, complications that people were born with that they have to do certain things. Yep. Some people get heavy flows and they have to regulate them with birth control. Like there's so many factors to it that it's hard to just be sitting here like, oh well, this is the reason why Roe versus Wade is affecting us. It's so many different countless ways, but it's just the fact that people are discussing and making decisions without other people being involved. Like, I get it. We do have representation. We have legislation. We have those people who are in there. It's just crazy. It's just crazy that's just how the world works,
Yeah. It's truly wild. And it's funny, I was having this conversation, a similar conversation like this, and the way I got this person to understand, I was like, it's like if you lost a parent, right? Like we're talking about this other person. It's like you lost a parent and then my parents are still alive. And it's me walking up on you and saying, hey man, I really understand what you're going through. No, you don't. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that the sentiment isn't appreciated because it definitely is, right? You're showing compassion to a situation that someone is dealing with, right? But to sit here and say, I understand, I am so very sorry, is bullshit. It's like me looking at any woman in my life, or like I said again, anybody with a uterus. It's like me going to this person and saying, you know what? I hate this right now. I completely understand what you're going through. No, the fuck I don't. Again, I I want to be informed. I want other people to be informed. I want us to make, informed decisions. I want us to do the research. I want us to get everything that we need from, researching these situations and really diving deep into these subjects, right? But to sit here and say, I understand, I'm sorry, you don't. You just don't. That's like another example. That's like me looking at my kids and saying, like, I can only imagine what it's like being mixed. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah. You may only know your personal thing. Like, you may know how it is to raise them. Right. You may know what they tell you. And that's why, and just to bring it back, like, that's the same way I feel that having the conversation on your platform is important, because I don't know how it feels. I don't know what it is like to go through. I know it's wrong though. Like, I'm all fine with being educated, but like, if there's things that I know that are affecting people in my community, people that I know, people in my life, I'm gonna have that conversation. They're like, well, it doesn't affect you. Yes, it does, because I know them. It's gonna always affect me. So it's just those cases where it's just like you gotta keep going with it, and it's not my job to. It's my job to understand you. I can't understand your pain. I can't change your pain. I can't rotate it, but I can help you fight it. So that's the difference between it. A lot of people say, oh, I'm sorry. I get it though. You may not. I may not. And sometimes I say that, like, I don't understand what you're going through. I can have conversations. I can get better knowledge. I can do some research. But what you're personally going through, I will never understand.
Ever.
But that doesn't mean we can't change this together. That means we can't work this out together. That doesn't mean we can't walk side by side. You may be, and not even side by side. I can walk in front of you, so those things that are being thrown at you, I can stand in front of.
Right.
I may not know what they are, but I'll be there to protect it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just all about those things. Yeah. Being an ally doesn't mean you have to automatically know what the fuck everybody's going through. It's just knowing that whatever they're going through is wrong. Like you said, like somebody not having a parent and you having both of them, you don't understand the struggle of being raised by a single parent. Like, you may have the best life of your life, but it had its hardships that you may have seen or may not have seen. That you, as a person with two parents who have two people with two different incomes, two sets of loves, two sets of time, two sets of all of those things, is things that regardless how great someone's childhood with one parent was or bad, they'll never understand. Y'all will never understand each other. Yeah.
Like, I'll give you a perfect example. Like, me being a father, right? Mm-hmm. Mind you, now, I didn't have a father. I had my mom and I had my grandfather, right? And of course, family, right? But so far as in the home, I didn't have a dad. Don't know this motherfucker, never met him, ain't never seen a picture, no nothing. Right? So to me, for me to walk through life, I'm literally trying to be the best father I can be, but based off how my mom raised me. Now, mind you, now there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Honestly, I think I'm a great dad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the best. I ain't got everything fucking right. Hell, I mean, half the time I'm fucking up. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of that, you know what I mean? Like, I can only do what I know. But since I didn't grow up with a father, I can't relate, like, to someone who grew up with theirs. I just can't. All I can sit here and say is like, hey, well, I mean, that sounds awesome. You know what I mean? I didn't experience that, but whatever. I don't understand, but I get the concept. I get the concept of going outside and I mean, obviously, if I didn't, I wouldn't do it with my kids. But like, I understand the concept of going outside and throwing a ball, or having a conversation about sex, or going out and teaching you how to drive for the first time. I understand all these concepts, but again, I understand them without context. It's the difference. I understand them without having the experience associated with it. So I just do what I can and hope that I'm doing right by my children. That is the same concept. There's no way in hell I could go through and literally look somebody in the eyes and fucking say, hey, I understand, because I'm lying to that person. and I'm not going to lie to you. I think the other part of this too, and why I said I appreciate the allies, is because at least you're trying to understand. Again, I don't want you to lie to me. Don't lie to my face now, because I'll call your ass out real quick. You know what I'm saying? But if you're taking that stance of saying that I'm trying to understand and I'm trying to be better and I'm trying to do what I can because I know I have the ability to do something, if you come at me like that, 1,000%, I'm on with it. I talk to fucking Shay and Vortis every fucking day. White as snow, both of them, right? Love them to death, right? And anybody that knows Shay can tell you Shay will go to war with anybody and everyone. You know what I'm saying? For, again, just basic human rights. But in our conversations, I'll go through and remind them all the time. I'm like, hey, look, this is just something that's a part of... Matter of fact, to give you another example here, I run an anime community. I can't tell you how many times Shay has come to me and been like, Bear, guess what? I don't know what the fuck is going on here, right? I know that in the worldview, this is something fucked up and wrong and blah, 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 et cetera, et cetera. Can you help me understand the context of what's happening? And then that's why I step in as somebody in the community. You know what I'm saying? I can go back and say, okay, so what they're really talking about is X, Y, and Z. It might seem like this, but it's really like this. So before you pop off and kill everybody in the vicinity, you know what I'm saying? This is what we're referring to. It's that same concept. If you take the time to actually give a fuck and actually put in effort, I'm with you. I'll gladly walk with you all day and all fucking night. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people want to, as you stated, go through and be performative and look all good on paper, and then in a couple months, I think I'm gonna go back to my life. And live this life of being privileged and doing whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the fundamental difference.
That's just and also like what Shay says, like I find it kind of weird that people need to have a personal, like not most people, a lot of people need to have a personal reflection or attachment to something to fight for. And yes and no. Like I do think that, you know, I would fight for any black man's, you know, rights or whatever. But if I know it's you, I'll fight harder. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But like Shay was saying, like most people don't value or see people as people. They see them as people, like things. Like, and that's what the same way how we are looked at by, you know, the government, how things are ran, things are utilized, things are pushed. So when you have, once you make that correlation, like, hey, bro, like I'm a human being too, man. I bleed, I piss, you know, I get cramps when it rains, my knees hurt, you know,
right.
Like they're like, oh shit, yo, you're just like me. Well, you should have those rights just like me. Let's fight. I'm like, sometimes it's wild that it takes that to create that. But in all honesty, like it's always, for me, that's how I pick and choose what I fight for. Is it a human rights? Regardless if it's a black person, a white person, an Asian person, whatever, a missing person, a person who hasn't even been discovered, one of those indigenous people.
Right.
Regardless what it is, if it's something that any basic human should have, I'll fight for it. Now, if it's just one of those things like, man, I want to be able to have an afro now, and I'm like, I mean, bro, do what you do, but you know, just move,
right,
or whatever it may be. But like, if it's not something that, if it's just a personal issue that you are specifically fighting for that I may not have an attachment with, I can dabble. But if it's something that every human should have, then I'm gonna fight for it, regardless what it is. Right. Like, I even if I have those things or don't have those things, I don't have to not have them to fight for them for you. But if it's like, oh man, I should have electricity in my house. You don't have electricity in the house? Oh no, we gotta get that for you. Like I said.
Right.
It's like, well, you're paying rent? Yeah, I'm paying all this money for. Oh man, come on, let's go. HOA, let's get them up now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
it's the same
some people's like, oh man, you ain't got electricity in your house? That's crazy. I do.
Yeah, I'm straight. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, it's just like us right now, two men of color talking about this subject. As we stated before, it does affect everyone, not just women or, you know, anybody with a uterus. But again, at the end of the day, like, they are the ones that are getting directly hit right now. today with this stuff. But regardless of the fact, I'm just like you, and while we're having this conversation, we're going to talk about this. We have to, because again, it backtracks to the same thing. We're talking about basic human rights. You damn right. You damn right I'm all with it. You damn right I'm going to stand beside it. Because again, nobody, me, you, or anybody else should be taken advantage of the way that people are taking advantage of right now. Being subjugated the way they're being subjugated right now. Fuck that. It's not okay. It's not okay, and I'm not going to have it. Please, I'm gonna tell y'all something. For real, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. Please don't let me be anybody that can make fucking decisions or get some shit done. Like, to actually get some shit done, please don't let it be me. Like, this is gonna sound stupid, but if I was Superman, right, or had Superman's powers, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Shit changing. I don't give a fuck.
I ain't gonna hold you, bro. If I had superpowers, I had any type of thing like that, I'd be listen, I'd be an enemy of the state. Right. I'd be an enemy of the state, like shit. Like, oh, what? You telling me that there's people in this area that don't got water? All right, bro, I'm just gonna go to all the stores in Beverly Hills and take all the water and just run them to the areas that need water. Like, you're stealing. How?
Right.
Catch me. Catch me.
What you gonna do? See,
what you gonna do? Like that, I think it's everybody should have access to the same basic principles, because I don't think, now if you choose to not have those are your choice. Like, you're like, I don't need Wi-Fi, I'm good, I'm off the grid, so whatever. Yeah. But I think that everybody, especially in this modern age, needs to have certain basic essentials to be able to live their lives as we are taxed. Mm-hmm. We should be able to live our lives based on how we're taxed. We all are taxed on pretty much every single damn thing we do. So we should be able to, based on those things, have certain, inalienable rights that cannot be taken away. And it seems that every day that goes on, those lists of unalienable rights are slowly diminishing.
Yeah, getting shorter and shorter.
But I don't understand. I guess just because I am part of a group of people that have been constantly, I won't say impoverished, but constantly been beat down, I can always understand a group when they come out there, like when they had when COVID came out and people had the Asian hate. Like, I automatically was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. Like, I'm not doing that. As a black person, I'm not gonna stoop to the same level of people that have oppressed me. Like, right. I don't care if they don't like black people. I'm not gonna wear the moniker of those people. Like, that's just how I feel about it. And like, people are like, oh, well, they just want to get up. And I was like, that's cool. I won't shop there, but I ain't gonna be racist to them.
Right.
That doesn't make me feel any better. It was like, yeah, like, what? I'm gonna be racist and being treated like I ain't shit from some other group? Like, that means absolutely nothing.
Right. That goes back to what we were talking about before. It's crazy to me that people in our own community are just like, yo, fuck it, it don't bother me. Bruh, y'all are wild for that one, for real, because I don't see how the fuck you could live anywhere in this motherfucker and then sit here and say anything like that. Like, I don't know, you must live in a bubble, a box, or some shit like that, or don't watch, you know what I'm saying? Don't go outside, don't watch TV, don't listen to music, just nothing. That's the only way you can have that perspective. Or actually what's happening is that you just don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Until you decide to give a fuck. That's the reality. Like you said, people don't care. I think that's one of the biggest issues with humanity overall. People just don't fucking care. If it's not about them, if it doesn't push them to where they want to be or push them in a better situation, they just simply don't give a fuck. That is,
I mean, that's just it. That's the tweet. That's it. Like, that's all it is. And I realized that a lot of people, and that's what it breaks the barriers eventually, how people realize how bad, shitty the world is. It's like, when people don't care, like, people really legitimately don't care. And I've lived in New York. People don't give a fuck about what's going on. Man, there's times that I've seen somebody like do a whole backflip and fuck it up and be on the ground in pain. People have just stepped over the motherfucker and just kept like, I gotta go. I don't know what you doing, bro. Like, you wasting time. People going to the subway, start dancing. And nah, I don't care. I ain't even here. Right. I don't even see you. But when it comes to those things, it's weird because it's the same aspect of if you ever looked at like old racist people, old racist men, and like their daughter marries a black guy and have a kid, and they're like, I hate this kid. This kid is never be in my life. And then they see the kid, and now like they're like the most unracist person ever. They're like, oh no, this is my child. I'll fight for this little baby.
Right.
And now it's like oh shit. People only care about things that personally affect them. And if it doesn't personally affect them, they don't give a shit. Like nobody wants to be labeled as racist. That's why people are so combative when it comes out like that. Like, oh man, you're racist. It's like, whoa.
Not me.
I am not that.
I have
I have black friends. I have black friends. I celebrate Kwanzaa.
Right.
I listen to Lil Wayne uncensored,
Exactly.
I know all those lyrics.
I bought that ice cream. It was delicious. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's like, I know how to make fried chicken. Like,
right.
And it's like, what? Everything you're saying is sounding like you're more and more racist.
Right.
It's like,
I have spices in my home. First of all, no, you don't.
Obviously.
First of all, no, you don't.